Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
On the other side, Lehen's blocking him completely, and just, there really isn't one. It's like, I hope Calyx makes a mistake. That's the best we can hope for.
Well, Peanut going to get engaged on here. Lehen's going to get engaged on here by Peanut, as the Cocoon is going to be traded. And Lehen's just buying time so that these grubs go over. There was a bit of a scuffle there towards the bottom as I was watching this spider scuttle away. And Gideon, he knows exactly what he wants. He eats the stun there as well, gorgeously. That's first blood, just nabbed by Lehen's. And Zeka now at 200 health. The Noodles are really cooking well today.
Yeah, and I think Hanwha Life really shouldn't have tried to stick around and try to force a play there in the mid lane. And Peanut is also just dead, right?
There's the flash over from Zeka, but the flash in answer from Calyx. Zeus will put down the rise and now looks for even more. Oh my god, this guy's Jace is so scary. But Gideon's still able to flash his way out of there. And Jiu is stopped.
Yeah.
Flash off meant that Gideon gets out, but does have to invest a lot, as now it's his turn to come on over and pay a visit to Peanut. He'll pick up a rock, and you can see Peanut not actually going to be able to stand his ground. Wall comes up here towards the top side, as now Lehen's could be in trouble. The threaded volley comes down, but it splits off this spider, and it's going to be Viper taking out his former teammate.
All right, well, that's a successful play there on the top side.
Oh god, Bingen actually trading quite nicely here as the needlework going to be avoided. Gideon's making his way down though. And the Impale will be moved out of the way of, and now Zeus is going to turn it. This time no flash for Gideon, and this guy's Jace is just too good. The Realm Warp does come in, and now they're still in trouble. How is Zeus going to outplay this? That's the question I have on my mind. The answer is, I guess we just shoot him a bunch of times. As down goes the Gwen, he's immortal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the best top laner in the world. Nice play, then outplays it. Buying the space here against the Gwen, waits for the mist, hits the shock blast, transforms, goes in for a bit of a trade here. And then, most importantly of all here, look at this sidestep on the Impale. Goes low. This is a picture as Peanut counter gank, right? He shows up on time. And then, Calyx is here. What are we going to do? How are we going to outplay this? Waits for this Gwen to close the gap. Peanut zoning as they try to clear the wave here. Gets the transformation in. Spaces perfectly. My god, I can't even believe it watching in his first-person view.
No, it's really ridiculous. As Kingen, no way that Kingen can walk up anymore. It's kind of like the ship has sailed on being able to honestly top lane in this game.
Yeah, and Zeus, he picked this knowing that Gwen was up. He was happy to do it.
Yep, Chains of Corruption going to connect here as there's a Glacial Prison as well. The Chain CC onto Calyx. He is trying to run his way out, but doesn't have flash, and that's Viper picking it up with a flash of his own. And HLE
really they're just going to try to zone while he does Dragon. He is a Skarner, though. I'm not sure if this is actually going to work out.
Yep, Realm Warp is going to bring Calyx in.
Interesting interaction.
Yeah, just trying to make sure that Zeka gets out of there. He does indeed do so, as the Weaver's Wall is now on cooldown as well. So the first Dragon going to be in the pockets of Nongshim.
And they do not commit to try to contest the Dragon. Is not where she wants to be. Gideon is going to have to come down here and respond. At the same time, Zeka backs away, and Calyx should be able to get a plate here topside with some help from Lehen's, as we're just going to trade soul laners hitting turrets.
Yep, and they knew that they were all going to be waiting there, but the Gwen is still going to die. Gideon gets into position, but not going to be able to find anything. The Impale comes out, he holds two in position, and Viper just kills him. So, despite the fact that this was all information that they had, they're not really going to be able to do anything about it, and that is going to be feats of strength going on over to HLE at the same time as they take first turret. As they patrol their way down the river. They're not going to be able to find anyone on Nongshim's side. One big thing for Nongshim is the fact that they do have the first Dragon, so not without anything, as now Zeka could be out of position, does have his flashback available as the Cocoon catches him, and he has to invest the Summoner spell. Lehen's Elise, man, is really, really good.
Yeah, really nicely played. He has the Rocket Belt as well, but now guess what? We're doing it again.
Well, Calyx, they're going to have to dive him if they want to grab this kill, and he's able to offer a fair bit of damage back. Gideon in position at the same time.
Yeah, I thought Peanut was actually... That's the best you can hope for right now. Viper on 3 kills.
Oh, Lehen's going to find him once again. This time, the Cocoon is not going to connect, and the Chains of Corruption does. So Viper just kills it.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was alluding to. I was like, Viper has 3 kills, so I don't know if you can find anything on him anymore. Lehen said, well, give it a good old college try. Yeah. He's playing down over there, but the same to be said of Zeus, who didn't show up to this top wave until just now. They both have TP for this Dragon, as Peanut is going to clear this ward, and...
Yeah, and I think the Elise is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Not even given the option to use Repel. Because he's just dead. Not even able to go into Spider Bomb.
Peanut was on the ward he was clearing. It wasn't a mystery. So he cleared the ward and cleared the Lehens.
Yeah. And that's a happy Penguin, as that's going to be the end of that turret, utilizing the Rift Herald very nicely. And all of a sudden, this game went from being Nongshim had some like cool things that they were able to do to this game is really almost over.
Yeah, I think we know who the great challengers are in this one.
Yes. I'm starting to feel as well like perhaps the early plays from Zeus were a little bit much, as, yeah, Viper just kills it.
Super casual. No comments from him as he destroys Lehens.
Lehens, of course, is just happy to keep going in as he flashes, does get ignited and does go down to the last tick there from Delight. Zeus moving on over as well as then the Impale does come on down. Do they manage to get it? And yes, it's Q getting a really nice combo there. Now in the brush trying to line up these headshots, but I don't think Nongshim are going to have too much more. Zeka not even able to throw Jiu through the rocks because Jiu's already trying to get the heck out of there. And they will lose their top laner, but they sacrifice him for 3. So
yeah.
That's how it kind of goes. But it does show that Orcs is at least paying attention, so we're going to get some good segments on the space between games, which is good to know. Everything is blue on the bottom of my screen, Wolf. That's the dangerous part, as Realm Warp to try and bring them in. But Gideon is going to find himself out of position. He will have to flash. Glacial Prison connects onto Lehens. Lehens probably happy to tank that one up, as HLE just look to turn any sort of aggression that Nongshim are putting towards them. Now Otacon going to be started here. It's the voracious variety.
It's not an engaged support that Lehens is playing. You know, he's playing a cocoon support. He can't do anything but cocoon towards his Otacon, so he can't engage on anybody. There's no target. I mean, Viper's got his Edge of Night. Like, who do you even kill here? How do you even get past Peanut?
Well,
good luck.
I think they're going to try and send someone.
They don't even have Realm Warp.
And Gideon is here. Does have Smite, as now the Weaver's Wall to try and break them apart. Great seismic shove will connect at the same time as they're also able to take down the Otacon. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that, as Lehen's going to get slowed down by Peanut. He takes a lot of damage as the Grand Starfall does come in. I think these withdrawals are going to start coming through thick and fast, but there are some kills at the same time as Jiu trying to stand his ground, and it's not quite working. The flash out there as Zeka finds a great angle for the seismic shove. And some Viper, though. I think Viper has had a phenomenal game so far. This guy's Varus has been so good throughout his entire career, but we're really seeing him be allowed to carry here for this team. 5-0-5 right now on this champion as Lehen's going to go up into the sky, try to avoid some things, but then gets hit by everything and the kitchen sink. As Zeus, he takes the turret shot, some sort of skill shot, but it's not going to take any more damage here as the seismic shove brings Kingen back into melee range with Zeka, and this is the state of the game.
Yeah,
Talia is happy to go face first into a Gwen.
If they had a wave, like, we might actually be talking about this game is, in fact, ending now. As at least they get something back on the other side. They force the teleport. They will get this bounty.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be a punish here. But, you know, I mean, that's sure +1 thing that Nongshim got. 2 turrets, 3 grubs, 3 kills. The rest of the map is blue. The rest of your screen is blue. Lehens is going to make it slightly less blue, but then...
Oh dear, he's just going to die. Wow, you blink and you miss it. He's 1-7. Of course, 9 deaths was the barrel special in the game. That is going to be a heist on the blue buff, as we saw concluded. The second dragon will go over to HLE, though, as now Gideon going to drive on forward. Looks for Zeka, doesn't get the wall stun, though, as Delight also holding onto the engage option, but they do just throw the Skarner back. Zeka is himself actually kind of gigantic right now, 3-0-5. And you can see Gideon unable to really stand against him. As okay, Grand Starfall going to come on through. Delight going to be alone, though, as the Realm Warp going to be utilized. That brings Calyx over. Delight does kill the Skarner, but he trades 1 for 1. And maybe with how far Nongshim are behind, this could be a good outcome.
Yeah, I think they're okay with it. And sometimes you get to see plays like this. Otherwise, I don't trust it's Hanwha Life Esports, because I thought for a second they were about to just close this game out with without any happy gaming at all. Wow, and just very clean macro
and closeout.
Yeah, no, they gotta have a little fun. Calyx is not having a little fun.
No, this is he's dead.
I really didn't think this was going to be the series that was...
Perhaps Kingen is also dead, as, he did have some mist for a few moments, and Viper did go relatively low. There's the flash forward from Lehens. He knows! This is all he wants. He just wants to the Baron.
Nah, he's healing it up.
He's going to be okay. He's going to be A-okay. Baron not going to be around for too much longer here and not going to be contested by Nongshim either. as we have a 9,000 gold lead. It's almost 10.
I mean, this is not the series I thought that was going to look like this. I thought the backs were broken. Or that Hanwha Life and Zeus became Super Saiyan, whichever way you want to look at it.
Yeah,
Peanut.
One of those is Peanut's going to get a cleanse out of Jiu, and they do manage to separate the Elise. It looked almost like they were apprehensive, like, do we have to kill him again? And the answer was they may as well. Impale going to come on through, but the seismic shove just pulls Viper out of the maw of death. Peanut there to stand in front of him yet again. Protect the president is absolutely right as Zeus dives in on top of Jiu, and Zeka will be able to finish him off. The Jace will be the noble sacrifice this time around, but the Nexus is still going to fall here, and HLE not pulling any punches here in round 2 as the sad B comes in for Kingen just before the Nexus does go down.
There are only 2 series wins separating Hanwha. I'll be honest,
you could say.
I think the Xayah is very safe into Ambessa, into Shijao, Ari. Like, I feel like that pick makes a lot of sense. Pretty stable start down here in the bottom lane, as Gideon and Peanut look like they're going to have an interaction here.
Oh, headbutt pull. Lands onto Viper once more. Jiu not exactly offering too much back here, as now Kingen going to have to move on down. Wind becomes lightning, and we'll see whether the Ambessa can get anything done now, as that is already a kill onto this Xin Zhao. Kingen trying to do it, but he does not manage to, and Calix will finally get in and take down the pesky Nidalee. But once again, it's Zeus in a ridiculous position extremely early in the game, and they even get another kill. Zeka also finds himself ahead. Oh dear.
Well, it was a good try.
Publicly executing anyone.
Gideon just wants to get one and get out. Get one and get out.
Yep.
He's not going to get it.
Oh, actually just flashes on top of Zeka. They're going to see whether they can find it, but he does get out of the way of Lehens. Now Calix moves over once again. Gorgeous ulti. Of course, Zeka lines it up, but Calix has the answer. Wind becomes lightning, does a fair bit of damage, but it's not quite enough to get anything back, and now the re-engage comes through. They're looking for Peanut. Headbutt pulse comes through, and there are still some charges on this Spirit Rush. Calix going in, but it's 1 versus 3. Can he get the true damage? He does, but not quite able to get much more. And Zeus now is 0 mana up against the young gun of Nongshim.
Calix looking really good in this fight, but also Gideon's call plays the Xin Zhao. So difficult to take down, and now he's got 3 charges of Spirit Rush for the ensuing fight. Grub's going down alive. Gideon gets the first.
Yeah, headbutt pulverize onto just Peanut here, as Gideon going to knock up Lehens. Lehens still alive, still thriving here, as we can see. Kingen moving over. The Banana Brush, great angle for a public execution, as now Calix and Zeka fighting. Zeka with the inside track there, as over they go. Kingen actually dancing around this fight quite nicely. Peanut getting taken low, pulverize only onto 1 as the exhaust through onto Zeus. And Zeka getting pulled back with the charm, but they are just being separated and destroyed. Sapling going to slow up the Ambessa as he makes his way back, but Lehens kind of sacrificing himself.
To be of significant size.
Yeah, Jiu with the sidestep there is pretty nice. Gideon going to be able to secure his own blue buff. That's good as well. As another Pulverize going to get a Feather Storm out of Viper, actually, as they look to avoid the Feathers, doing nicely there. So ulti advantage now available for Jiu, as Kingen underneath the turret. Gideon going to have to try and turn this fight onto Peanut before Zeus makes his way over. But the problem is, Zeus can pounce in from a very long way away, and he gets his 4th kill of the game.
Yeah, this is starting to look like it's all over but the crying at this early stage, as Calix is the only good shining light.
Ulted by Zeka, and Zeka just finishes him off. That's a solo kill. And look at Calix's face there as well. He's like, man, what am I...
It's not going well, as we're going to watch Zeka's first-person view on the solo. Q3, his ult is back up. Does enough damage here, flashes out, but guess what? All you got to do is rebind, baby.
Yeah, and
it's pretty hard to beat. Only Genji has done it so far this season.
Zeka giving the happy bee to his former teammate. Actually very, very cute.
Yeah. To see the Nongshim win, Zeus just doesn't care.
Well, he's going to get pulverized. Headbutt back.
Wait, maybe
come through there as there is Jiu now chasing after him. Can he actually die? That is the question. Primal Surge is not enough, and there he goes. It's not enough to certify, but it's a shutdown. It's a lot of gold, and it's going down without any response on the other side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, basically everyone on Nongshim is trying to force a fight where they have a man advantage, where they have a disadvantage, they lose the turret, and where they have man advantage, they don't get anybody. So kind of losing on both sides here, unfortunately, for Nongshim.
And they lose feats of strength there at the same time, as Zeka almost finds that knockup. That was very cute. Thankfully, the charm will connect this time, so Calix not going to be taking too much damage from that one. Now has a Q that can clear the back wave. So is doing okay. Turret number 2 going to fall down though, and I have a feeling this is going to be a theme today.
Yeah, so remember when we talked about... Oh, hold on, we don't have time to remember.
There are a lot of people here, aren't there? Flash, Spirit Rush. Flash is pretty nice, and in fact, Delight is in trouble. Pulverize is gorgeous from Lehens. Really set up to make sure that he's down as Spirit Rush is going to get another charge, and another charm comes in, another Pulverize lined up, and Peanut could be in trouble. In fact, oh my God, I don't know how that worked.
TP though, TP maybe. Maybe Kingen gets him. Maybe Kingen gets him. Kingen, how many dashes you got?
Well, he's Ambessa. He's got a lot. Is going to go for the public execution on Zeka. Wants that extra money, but Zeka able to ult his way out, and Peanut is a lumbering tree, and he is going to be able to walk it off.
Oh, and Zeka has the longest dash.
Yeah,
but he wants it, he wants it, he wants... I don't know if he can have it.
Well, he's still going to be able to kill Peanut here, likely. Okay, never mind. Zeka is still alive. Still here. Let's get a nice little knock-up as the charm comes through once again. Hey, so the answering kill is there.
Yes, okay. Zeus making a whole turret here because he's literally in the side lane. But
let's ignore this.
We did get one. We did get an outer turret and inner Schminner, you know? Who really cares?
Outer turrets are the ones that you really want.
Once Zeri gets 2 items and we're in a 5v5 team fight, we'll see how useful that really is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she'll probably be killing it, getting pinged frantically by almost everyone. So you're going to be coming on over as Zeus with 2 items now done.
Yeah.
I would say that is somewhat intimidating.
It's not a hull breaker either, it's just more healing.
Yeah.
Try to kill me this time.
Oh, Sundered Sky and the
This turret's not going to really enjoy the autos coming through from Viper either, and that's just going to be a dead turret with Demolish.
Yep, 5 grubs. 3,000 gold gap in the top lane.
Yeah, so you know, let's see what happens if she has to team fight, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah!
We'll see how good that looks.
I think if you've got 1 billion gold, you're probably going to be fine. Is Jiu just going to ult, and Gideon finds Zeka on the recovery, and that's a really, really nice kill to be picked up here. I don't know whether they're going to be able to get over and take the Rift Herald. That is going to be secured there by HLE as public execution gets Kingen in amongst it. Trying to keep them interested as best they can, but Lehens getting lower and lower. Jiu does not have the ulti now for this battle as Zeka gets into the backline, and Calix will be able to spot him, even able to avoid the Nature's Grasp. Very nicely done. Now the quickness comes in. Lehens does get charmed up. Delight will trade himself for it as Kingen trying to frontline as best he can.
Very little in this fight because he's a fiddly, you know? So yeah, it's starting to look a little bit more playable every moment that goes by.
And I kind of lost my mind. I thought Zeka found his way back into the fight, but he did not, as we've got another one brewing. Great charm from Calix once again. Pulverize going to land onto both of the supporting cast of HLE. And Peanut struggling once again, but it's a double knock-up. There's the ulti onto 2, and Zeka just surgically removes the Zeri from the fight. And that takes so much of the steam out of Nongshim. They're going to have to back away. Lehens realizes he'll need to sacrifice himself as Calix flashes right over the spear. Great charm is going to come through as now they're just desperately trying to keep themselves alive. They will be able to do so. Spear slightly going wide.
Trying so hard. This team's playing with the food, and I'm the food. I'm really looking for the angles. Calix is having such a good game. You're trying to look for the punish angles, but it's just not good enough. Calix going in here super deep on the chase. Lehens has the follow-up. The ult comes through from Jiu. It's small moments like this where you're like, man, if Hanwha keep messing around, maybe we win this. But then the angle here from Zeka is just incredible as Jiu goes down to 1 health and live. Man, he's trying anything he can. He is seen, unfortunately, for him, and now is probably just dead. It's top of the morning.
Yeah, top of the morning, so it does deliver Peanut to the team. Charm is going to connect, but now Peanut taking it as an opportunity to engage. Jiu going to turn up, though. Can he get into the right position? That's the question. Calix moves out of the way of Delight, but the quickness does so much work. Meanwhile, into the backline goes King and finds Peanut at low health as they just desperately want to get on top of Jiu. He does skate his way out, as the spear is not going to connect. In goes Gideon, and Jiu stands his ground. Delight going to get out of there, but the Nidalee not going to be so lucky. Viper also getting some value as the Dragon's going to spawn. HLE lose 1. Nongshim do give another kill over to their Zeri.
Yeah, now Zeri has Runins. You know, like, Jiu is actually starting to become very relevant in these fights, and I do think that Hanwha's lead feels no longer infallible now that she has those 2, and we're looking at a Cloud Soul point here, but it's not a Soul, so...
Okay, there's going to be a little crash into this turret. Gideon slowed down, and now he's dead. There's just not really going to be much they can do about that one. Inner turret does fall down. Good Rift Herald value. A bit of a U-turn here from Peanut, as not entirely sure where he wants to go. He is also unsure himself, as he does just cruise into this mid lane to set up this turret for a kill as well, and I'll take that one down.
Nice how they play this out.
Yeah, there's certainly some possibilities here. Zeka gonna unbind. It's over, as we do have a couple of Spirit Rushes, only one more left, as the Charm's going to connect, but that ulti uninterruptible.
Still got an ult out of the Yone, but the problem is every time they get an even trade, somebody loses a turret.
Yeah, and they're going to look for a Constellation Peanut here. Let's see whether they can actually collect that one. Exhaust onto Zeka to avoid that damage, as Delight just going to play defense, and he plays it beautifully. Zeus now comes on over as Peanut eventually goes down. And it's now protect the president. Can they keep Gio alive is the question, as Viper has so many feathers doing so much work. Zeus and Kingen continuing to fight here, as now Viper with the feathers going to pull him back and take down the Xin Zhao. Public execution is not going to work here, as Zeus is tanking 2 turrets. He just flashes for the takedown and he'll collect it. And Gio, let's see what he can get done here, as Viper does fall down first. The feather recall almost secures
Who's
the
going
end
to
of him,
defend the base?
yeah, this is the problem. You may have sort of kind of done okay in a team fight, but you have not won the war.
Yeah, every single time it's like,
oh, that's where they're really having some issues, is the Baron completely unseen by Nongshim. Gideon gonna try and get in there. If they can steal this away, then maybe there's an angle, maybe there's an option, maybe there's a way. Let's see what they can actually do.
This is risky for Hanwha, honestly.
It is. That's a flash charm to come through, as Peanut getting taken down so incredibly low. Delight got it back, but Zeka finds 3 with a huge ulti. Calyx with his Zhonyas though, and my god, this Ari is popping off, lands another charm. It's a triple for the young man in the mid lane. And now, maybe that chance for Nongshim's looking real.
Oh, it was all on the map. You know, that's plus 3,000 gold on the power play.
And the gold is within 2,000 now. It is actually going to get evened out as Kingen heads up towards his top side. He's got 3 items almost completed. Serpent's Fang actually coming in as the second option is kind of interesting. Lots of shields to be taken down though, you'd expect. Yeah. Especially if he's 1v1ing against Zeka in a side lane, so it's somewhat understandable. As there's a flash in from Peanut looking for Calyx, but there's no follow-up, and Peanut is just dead.
I've seen this attempt before. We saw it earlier in the game, and Calyx this time doesn't need to flash to make the play happen.
Yep. I mean, I guess the thinking is that you cannot charm when he's mid-twisted advance. The problem is...
That's the scary thing. Plus, Calyx is playing out of his mind. He has 10 kills on the R, and he's looking for more!
Another charm is going to connect, and that is the nerf to the Yone at work, ladies and gentlemen. Zeka will be removed, and this turret is going to follow suit. Nongshim are going to win this game, ladies and gentlemen. It is happening.
Are just kind of running it down. Like, what is happening? Like, what was that? Why are you out there? Calyx getting disrespected, and he's showing you why you should respect this young player.
It's Baron, it's Elder, it's everything.
If you win a fight cleanly, the game is done 100%.
Yep. No matter who you are. As Lahan's looking to try and turn it.
TP is available for King, and he's going to have to use it.
Yep, Zeus has made his way over. Lands the first spear there as Redemption. Going to get Calyx's health bar back, and you can see he is not scared to look for these flank angles. Spear not going to connect there either, as Lahan's his health bar very important. Kingen.
He doesn't have a great teleport angle as Lahan's going in.
It's only a pulverize onto 1, and that's an ult onto 3 from Zeka, but he immediately goes down. They take the cow, and the Zeri has got 2. Public execution comes through at the same time as up goes the Zeri, and down she goes, but they've got more damage. Zeus is not enough. He is just 1 Nidalee against the world, and over the wall they go, and they take him down. 7.8k damage for the young man Calyx. He is very quickly becoming my favorite player in this entire...
And because he's basically full build on this Ahri, he just does massive damage. He has the Shadow Flame. He's the one who can apply it really easily, but they're not going to be able to contest this Baron. They may look to try to trade for 1 inhibitor. I don't think they can get 2, and even getting 1, I mean, they don't have a full wave here.
Yep, and there are pings out. This is HLE's
team, and that's exactly where Nongshim want him.
Yeah, that is going to be in a turret falling down here.
20 seconds on Elder.
It's now 5,000 gold lead for Nongshim. Not that gold really matters right now, as Lahan's just pressing the headbutt button because he can, as Calyx is a madman. They have Elder Dragon, of course, so it's not exactly that crazy to go for fights, as Peanut sets up the Nature's Grasp. Charm not going to connect this time around, as in goes Zeka, but they do find a great redemption for the extra health, and now Gio all the way out the back.
Play completely safe, make sure all 3 waves are at least at the midway point of the map before they do anything.
Well, Gideon actually going to go in as there is the flash pulverize onto Peanut. Extendo beam coming on forward as Calyx finds yet another gorgeous charm. And they end the jungler. And Zeus, he's on the bottom side of the map. Nongshim, they understand they need to send someone home. They could lose most of their base off the back of this one.
Zeus also backing.
Another beautiful redemption angle here.
King has TP.
Another inhibitor turret to go down.
Hanwha are going to have to make an engage happen here soon. They're going to have to make a tough call. Delight and Zeka, they're at the forefront of this.
Redemption just to clear up the health bars of Lehens and Calyx, but can they get here in time? Is the question as Gideon goes forward. He pulls Peanut out as the Twisted Advance comes on in, and it is the Elder secured by HLE. Now Kingen looking to get on top of Viper despite the fact that the Dragon's getting angry. And Calyx, can he be the hero again? I just don't think he can, as Extendo Beam not going to be taking down this tree. And despite everything that Nongshim were able to do, they just lose out on the Elder Drake because of a pesky kitty cat being annoying.
Zeus still just gets them, man. He still gets them. He still annoys them. He still ruins their day. He still outruns them. He outpaces them. He outsmarts them. And Zeka can defend the base as they push to end. 45 seconds till his Zeri comes up, and that is 45 seconds too long.
Yeah, no Baron, so maybe these minions are killable. The Calyx is really going to have to rely on these Nexus turrets, and Zeus is not going to let him. Charm is going to go wide, and the Dragon is just burning him down. And I think Nongshim, I think they know that this was a decent effort, just not quite enough to take down HLE here today.